everyone, RCD Butts here, and this is going to be the first build video I try to do, and my first nitro. So we're going to do a Trex 600 Nitro Pro, and this is the limited edition designed by Alan Sabo, Jason Krause, a couple rock stars. This is what we got in the box. They've got a new system for how they're packaging all this stuff up now. It's great. They're really separating everything into, you know, the main frame stuff, the rotor headset, the electrical devices, and this is just the full-out combo kit. All the servos in there are aligned servos. Got the main blades right here. Usually there's, you know, we've also got in the main blade case, we've got the tail boom. Nice little carbon fiber tail boom. I don't see a spare one in there. Yeah, on the 700 I had a spare tail boom, but yeah, this is really nice carbon fiber. And of course, in the main blade box, you've got the blades. Nice aligned blades. I really like these. I think they're some of the best value blades. I mean, Edge, Maverick, those blades are awesome too, but a little more spendy. In the box at the very bottom, we've got the manual. You're going to use that as your guide for most of what you're doing. In the frame set box, we've got a nice little canopy. Beautiful little canopy, packaged up very nicely. Gotta love the look of that. We're going to set that to the side. We're not going to be doing anything with that for a while. And what's so great about the Align kits, they've got the bags kind of separated and numbered according to the different steps you're going to use in assembling the whole thing. Little torque tube and the tail drive. And here we've got all the miscellaneous extras, a couple screws, the canopy nuts, blade holders, grease and Loctite. You know, all this really important stuff that you're going to be using. Skids and all the frame hardware. So, next box we've got here is the main rotor headset stuff. Again, like all the other stuff, numbered, separated. Everything's split out the way it should be. Got the main gear in here. A lot of the frame hardware stuff. And clutch and fan. It's great. All this stuff's included. And if you got the combo kit, you'll also have a box that will have the electrical devices. I personally, I really like Align's electrical stuff. A lot of people will sell them and get the high voltage or JR, but for a combo kit, I think it's usually a pretty good deal, and I've never had a hard time with the DS10 and the DS620s, or 610, 620, and the 650s. Got the gyro in there, GP780, it's a pretty good one. Governor, all the servo arms that you need, and the Align 2-in-1. This is great. It's also, you know, it's a voltage regulator and a glow plug, so, you know, it serves two purposes. Also, what we've got in this kit, or that I ordered separately, I got a DS650 that I'm just going to use on the tail. I'll probably use the 620 as the throttle servo. For the engine, I got an OS 55. OS 55 engine. So this should be beefy enough. Give it a bit more power than the 50. And I heard that one of the best pipes to go with that is the Funtech 320. So this is what I'll be putting on it for a pipe. A little bit of bling going on there. You don't like the look of that. So this should be a fun little nitro build. Other stuff I got, a line starter. I've heard that this is a great starter to have. So I'm looking forward to my first nitro build and first build video. Let's move on to start building this sucker. Alright, before you get started, make sure you read through the manual, that you understand everything. You know, you plan on flying the right locations, you don't want moisture on, you know, some of your electrical components. Make sure you have all the proper tools, you know, that you're safe and experienced. Do not operate under the influence of any drugs or alcohol. Be careful about all the rotating blades, keep away from heat. Just know all your safety precautions, know about all the batteries, everything you're using. Make sure you have all the safety tools, everything you need. Give the manual a good run through. Make sure you understand what you're doing as you're going along. Follow the video, obviously, but be mindful of what it says in the manual. Sometimes there's little details that you can overlook if you're just looking at the pictures. It has certain orders with, you know, the ball bearings and that stuff. Make sure you go through the manual with a fine-tooth comb and you know what you're doing. Like I say, you know, measure twice and cut once. This is a big helicopter and you want to make sure you're being safe. First part we're going to do here is the head assembly. It says in the manual we're going to need bags 600NH6A, 600NH6, 600NH2C, 600NH2. And there's this one bag here, 600NH. It's got all the sub assemblies in there. 600NH2 right here. 600NH8, which we'll be using a little later. 600NH7, put that to the side. 600NH6, so that looks like one that we are going to be using. And then the swash plate, 600NH5. So that's what we had in the 600NH bag. It's great how these are separated, just, you know, in the order of how you want to do them. So get a pair of scissors, cut open the 600NH2 bag, and in here we've got button head, dampeners. Put those to the side for now. Most of the head, it looks like some of the fly bars assembled. Later we're going to make sure we go through this. It's assembled very loosely and there's no thread lock, so don't just assemble your head block or anything that's pre-assembled. Make sure you back out the screws, put some thread lock in there, and put it back in. We'll do that part later. Right now we're going to utilize, here's a spindle. And it looks like it's already got the screws in here. These screws are a bit greasy, and we want to make sure that the thread lock is going to stay on them really well, so you can use some alcohol to clean these off, as well as, you know, get a towel, clean these off really nice. You just want to get the grease off because nitro bird is going to vibrate a little bit more than electric, so you want to get these screws cleaned. Dip them in some alcohol. It's the best way to do it. Then give them a good wipe down with this. I'll go dip those in alcohol here in a bit. Then what we're looking at is the 600NH6. That's the bag that we're going for. Cut that one open. I'm going to start getting the grips assembled and ready to go. I just take one of the boxes, you know, that stuff is already coming in, and use that to put all my empties. Then when I'm done, I've got a box full of trash and it's all clean and organized. This kit's great. We got nice metal grips. Everything's machined real nice, better than the plastic grips of the old ones. Okay, there's a collar in here. It looks like they've already put that collar that it says that we've got. It says this collar piece is 4x6 by 9 by 4.3. You always want to check, if you're ever in doubt, check the length of the screws. Right here, this one will say 4 by 10, and you've got 2 of them. Make sure you just bust out your calipers and measure the right size. We already know that these are the right ones because they came right out of the spindle, but sometimes these things are organized out of whack. So you want to make sure that you measure the correct screw and you're using the right stuff. Measure twice, cut once. These to the side. Also, a great thing to put in for putting all the bags in one place. You can see if you leave something behind. Sometimes, something's missing. You can, at least you put everything in the same spot, so you've got one place to check. Then inside there, we've got the 600N H6A, which is the one that's got all these little pieces in here. We've got the linkage ball. We've got all the thrust bearings and the spacers. Put the grips out here to the side. This open. Okay, so we've got the thrust bearings organized right here perfectly. They actually wrote out and in, so you know which thrust bearing goes in. The inner thrust bearing, you'll notice the diameter is just a little bit bigger than the one that goes on the outside, and we're going to fill this ball with grease. Actually, feel like they're greased up pretty good. These little bags that they come in can be a little bit of a pain in the butt to get them out. You just want to make sure you don't lose anything in this process. Separate everything out correctly, out and in. You can tell, another thing, when you put it on the spindle, one of them is going to have more play, and that's the one that goes on the inside, and then the other one that's going to go on the outside. Oh, this one's the one that has more play. This one, yep, just like I said, in. The one that says in has a bigger diameter. It's going to have a lot more play here. You'll notice the one that says out, it's probably hard to see on the camera, but it says out, and it's got a bit of a smaller diameter, so less play on the spindle. We got some grease with the kit. There's other kinds of greases people use. Right now I'm just using what's in the kit. There's different kinds of preferences for people. I'm just going to use this right now. This guy packed with grease inside here. Grease is going to make everything just move a little bit smoother, cause things from locking up. There we go. And you want to get it in there nice. Then you want to clean it up, get it worked in. Wipe it off around the perimeter. Grease that one. Now I'm going to go and grease the other bearing and be right back.